usually are just by necessity. I didn't write that much on this new project because I'm embarking upon a whole new, it's on our own imprint, upper management music. And so this is a whole different phase in my career and in the process of that. So I co-wrote a couple of them, but it was basically strictly by email. This is the song, and where I heard the song and loved it, and they said, you know what, co-write it with me. So I just took it and write my words, what I think I would like to say in there, and they were kind enough to allow me to do that. So didn't write as much. Usually, I don't consider myself like a professional songwriter. We were with Sean Camp a couple of nights ago in Columbus. I was so impressed listening to the show, all the great songs that he's written, song after song, and what a great singer that he is. He's a professional songwriter. He does that every day. I consider myself more of a musician, a singer. If I have a project or I have inspired, I wrote a song called God Bless the Soldier after a visit to Fort Hood, Texas, not expecting to write that song. I was playing, it was a day like today, and we had performed 10 days in a row, and the 11th day found us in Fort Hood, Texas. So I had planned to lay by the pool that day, but instead the military had other plans, of course, and they had a schedule for a visit at the military hospital at 10 a.m. And I got there, they said, there's a lady that's been discharged, but she's waiting for you. And I was really confused by that, and went in to see her, and I said, if I've been discharged from the hospital, I'd be out of here. And she said, no, I wanted to thank you for taking the time to come see us. And we visited active duty soldiers just back from Iraq, and some out of surgery. One gentleman, he had been so badly burned, it was his first outing at our show that night. But from that experience, got back to the hotel that night and started to go to sleep, and instead I grabbed a pen and paper by the bedside. In 15 minutes wrote this song called God Bless the Soldier, my tribute. At the time, it was my tribute to, and it still is, to anyone who is serving or has served in the military. I did it shortly after that at an Air Force base, and learned a valuable lesson that they kind of looked at me as I'm singing God Bless the Soldier, and when it was finished, they said, well, we are airmen, but we like your song. So the Army is considered soldiers. There's the airmen, there's the sailors. So I learned something from that, but the sentiment is still the same.
What do you think it is about bluegrass that really encourages families to make music together more than other kinds of music?
Well, I think, bluegrass is a family atmosphere. I think it's the only genre of music that they have a chance to be on stage performing no matter what level they're at. In fact, we were in Columbus I guess it was yesterday morning. It doesn't seem like it was longer ago. Yesterday morning, before we left Columbus, the children had a children's camp. Well, they made a performance, and it's amazing that you asked that, because I spoke about that right before they performed, that in bluegrass, there was a little girl, she must have been 3 years old, and they were from every age, from 18 to 3, and they came on, and no matter what their level, they had the chance to perform. They were encouraged by the applause, and to really see, do I like this? One of the little girls, I don't think she really liked it. She did it, and I tried to talk to her, and they tried to get her to talk on the mic. She just said no. So that's probably not going to be something for her. But I don't know any other genre of music you would get that opportunity. I grew up in a musical family, so I am very thankful for that. Performed with my family for like 30 years. From the time I was 3, when I was 5, we had a television show, a radio show, made our first recording. So I grew up in a wonderful life of music, and bluegrass offers that opportunity. And I think it's a great thing to see these kids, to see the future of bluegrass music. There's an authenticity in bluegrass that I don't think you'll find in any other music, and I think that's something that draws in the family atmosphere. My dad went to his first festival in 1969. He had a car wreck when I was 2, was paralyzed from the neck down. So he eventually was able to restore some of the feeling and walk with a cane for most of my life. Well, I think he found that when he went to that festival, even though our family was involved in music, this is a music he could take his family to. We played many a campground for tips, or just traveling around, going to play open stages. And a family, you can sustain your family by doing that. So I think it prepared me for what I do now.